2023 Genesis G80 Review. What's new? Fully electric version now available in certain states. Part of the second G80 generation introduced for 2021. The electrified G80, like the GV60, is capable of some very quick charging times. Genesis says that when connected to a high-power 350 kW DC fast charger, you can charge the battery pack from 10% to 80% capacity in just 22 minutes, assuming optimal conditions. The electrified G80 performed well in our real-world range testing, driving more than 300 miles on a full charge. We found it to be quiet and comfortable on the road, with plenty of power and an excellent array of tech. The 2023 Genesis G80 is a mid-size luxury sedan, with an attractive base price, lots of available features, and an excellent warranty. The G80 is an impressive, if not class-leading luxury car, and for 2023 it gets a significant update that few can match right now, an available all-electric powertrain. Dubbed the electrified G80, this new electric car was designed from the ground up to be an EV like its new sibling, the Genesis GV60, but it's still a compelling offering thanks to excellent real-world range and strong performance, in addition to the standard G80's already solid foundation. While there has been a shift away from sedans toward SUV, the G80, both electric and not, has a sizable and tough group of competitors to deal with. Mid-size luxury car stalwarts like the Mercedes-Benz E-Class, Audi A6 and BMW 5 Series are all starting to show a bit of age, though the trio remains strong, if more expensive competition for the G80. Genesis also has the G70 and G90 sedans, which are smaller and larger, respectively, than the G80. Finding competition for the electrified G80 is a little more difficult. It's more expensive and larger than an EV like the Tesla Model 3, but isn't nearly as powerful or as pricey as the Tesla Model S, Mercedes-Benz EQS or Porsche Taycan. Range, both real-world and EPA, is very good for the electrified G80, but not headline-worthy for an EV these days. The electrified G80 has a comfortable and handsome interior, solid range, and loads of standard tech. That's a good combination in our books. How comfortable is the G80? The G80 is sports sedan adjacent, so it should be exceedingly comfortable, right? Yes, mostly. The plush seats are wonderfully supportive and wide without making you feel like you're being swallowed by them. Other highlights include nicely sculpted rear outboard seats and quick heating for the seats and steering wheel. Now for the mostly part. We expected more from the G80's trick road scanning adaptive suspension. Overall tuning is on the soft side when you put the car in normal mode. Pleasingly, there's no residual bounciness after traveling over bigger bumps. However, the ride can get overly brittle over cracked pavement. There's also some noticeable road noise, though wind and engine noise is sufficiently muted. How does the G80 drive? The redesigned G80 is a solid performer all round. The turbocharged V6, which is what we tested, has plenty of power whether you're hoofing it from a stop or need a squeeze of power on the highway. At our test track, our V6-equipped G80 test vehicle accelerated from 0 to 60 mph in 5.1 seconds. That's a bit slower than six-cylinder German rivals, but right in the running with the Cadillac CT5 V Series. Other highlights include smooth and quick transmission shifts and an unobtrusive engine stop-start system. The G80 3.5T comes standard with an adaptive suspension. It's otherwise optional on the 2.5T. Put the car in its sport mode and the suspension firms up and does a good job of reducing body roll when you drive around turns. How's the interior? An agreeable ride height and narrow door sills make it easy to get in and out of the G80. The driver literally has the best seat in the house, with additional adjustments, including massage, that aren't available on the front passenger seat. The view outward, though not bunker-like, is hampered slightly by thick front and rear pillars and a tall decklet. Certain features included on our test vehicle, including surround view and blind spot cameras, definitely help. Once inside, tall folks might notice their hair brushing against the headliner in either row. Sub-6-footers should have no problem. However, and you can always slouch a little and take advantage of the prodigious amount of legroom. The dashboard layout and design are attractive, with a pleasing selection of physical buttons for controls that you might use frequently. The touchpad/wheel infotainment controller presents an initial learning curve. Some of our drivers found it became second nature after some practice, but others never warmed up to it. The display is a short but ultra-wide touchscreen. Touching the right side of it from the driver's seat can be a stretch. How's the storage? At 13.1 cubic feet, the G80's trunk is larger than the CT5's, the same as the Mercedes-Benz E-Class but a bit smaller than the BMW 5 Series. It is quite deep, however, and there are pockets with nets behind each of the wheel wells. Interior storage space is more impressive, with numerous large bins and trays sprinkled throughout the cabin. Got kids? It can be initially difficult to install a child safety seat because the lower car seat anchors are not as easily accessible as those in other luxury sedans. But once you've got that done, the large rear doors and expansive rear legroom make it easy to get infants in and out. How's the tech? The 21-speaker Lexicon audio system is mind-blowing. Throw on some hip-hop or electronica, and you'll feel the bass in your bones. Even at higher volumes, the speakers did not distort or get muddy. We've experienced inferior systems in Bentleys. The navigation system offers multiple input methods for easy destination search, and the maps display is bright and free of clutter. Using the touchpad/wheel can be distracting, and the voice recognition system returns hits as often as misses. Audi's MMI and Mercedes MBUX X are much better. The driver aids are fine. The adaptive cruise control works well, but the lane centering feature will sometimes ping-pong the vehicle to either side of the lane. That's not terribly unusual at this stage of automated technology development, but rivals are a little bit smarter. A larger dip in surface pavement caused the collision mitigation braking feature to trigger and momentarily pump the brakes. This is totally unacceptable on any vehicle. Is the G80 a good value? Value has always been a Genesis strong suit, and the G80 starts off thousands of dollars less than its German competition. However, our fully loaded test G80 cost more than $69,000, which is only slightly less expensive than similarly equipped top-tier rivals. Conclusion: the G80's best value is lower on the trim ladder. Interior materials are a pleasant mix of leather, full leather, open pore wood, and aluminum. The overall effect is simply stunning, especially when you compare this G80 against its predecessor. That said, our tester exhibited a popping noise after hitting a bump or turning the wheel full lock at low speeds, which really marred the luxury experience. Genesis warranty coverage can't be beat. 5 years/60,000 miles bumper to bumper and 10 years/100,000 miles for the powertrain. 3 years/unlimited miles for roadside assistance is a little stingy, but 3 years of complimentary maintenance is among the segment's best. How are the range and efficiency? The V6-powered, all-wheel drive G80 is rated at 19 mpg combined, 16 city/25 highway. These numbers aren't stellar for the class, especially since the big three Germans all use mild hybrid powertrains that boost fuel economy. That said, we achieved 24.1 mpg on our mixed driving 115-mile evaluation route, illustrating that the EPA number should be easy to achieve in real-world driving. Pros: costs less than comparable luxury sedans in its class. Clean, attractive exterior design. Roomy interior features premium design cues and materials. Comfortable front seats. Cons: not as smooth riding as some competitors. Counterclockwise tachometer may be counterintuitive to some drivers. Cargo space is limited by a rear seat that won't fold flat.